I think I may have just found the most interesting guest I could ever have on my show. Thing is, he's a Detroit fan, but he's also a friend. Want to know more? Let's find out. Welcome to the Brian Snow Show, everybody. And for once, this is a sports episode that's mixed in with a lot of other things like surviving cancer, like AI, like, wait a minute, how did AI get in this conversation? Well, because my guest can give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. But as I teased at the top of the show, he's south of Detroit. Now, you all know me. I'm from Chicago. Bulls, Bears, kind of, Blackhawks, then him, Pistons, Tigers, Red Wings. Anybody remember 2013? Let me stop teasing and bring him on right now. Please help me welcome a dear friend of mine, Joseph Lenard. He joins right now.
Yeah, I was warned in advance this was going to be a snow job.
Right? We're off to the races already. Joe, how are you, man? Great to have you.
I'm doing well, like I always say, and I have my characters in my book say it, could always be better, could often be worse, right? Could be worse. So let's, before we complain too much, it could be worse.
With a guy like you, I can't complain. This is fun. I know this is going to be fun. The 21st century has gone all into AI. And when I read when I read one of your teasers, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, being a former IT guy, tell us about it. What have you discovered about AI, the good, the bad, and the ugly therein?
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to toggle my resolution here for whatever reason. There we go. That's a little better. I was fuzzy, so let's try that. Okay, yeah. Anyway, speaking of AI, right? These computer systems. Yeah, as a former IT guy, I'm on disability now, so I mainly focus on my writing books and stuff, as well as I do my own constitutionalist podcast. But yeah, being in IT, I saw the AI coming, and like anything else, the old adage most have heard, GIGO, right? Garbage in, garbage out. And that's what a lot of these AI systems are so far. A whole lot of garbage that's been fed in.
It's so crazy seeing all this explode onto the scene. And those of us that have been involved in technology for a while, myself included, we saw it coming. We saw it coming to this point. What was the first clue that you got that it was going to have this kind of explosion and these kind of results?
Well, yeah, years ago, of course, being in IT, but I had hoped that one of the first things we'd see as a writer would be improvements to spell checks and grammar checks, right? Microsoft Word, grammar and spell check still sucks. And that's really speaking, that's an early form of AI, right?
It is.
It tries to understand what you're trying to say and look for, but still doesn't understand context at all, like TO, TOO, or TWO, based on the grammatics based on the grammatics of the sentence, you should be able to figure that out. And at least say, did you really mean this one? TO or TOO or TWO here. But way behind. We've gone, of course, sad technology. First thing, porn, right? AI,
Mhm.
AI porn all over. At first, the new leap in any technology, porn.
Yep. Yep. And it was we like I said, we saw this coming a long time ago. You mentioned spell check, one of the first forms of AI. People didn't think about it that way. Think about it that way yet. How has it helped? How has it helped you in your writing? And on the flip side of that, how has it hurt you in your writings?
Well, that's part of the ugly part, right? I One of my books is how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques,
Mm-hmm.
right? I want to help. Everyone has a book in them. I'd like to help through this
Mm-hmm.
concept to writing to publishing to what to do after published,
Mm-hmm.
get out a book. Well, I don't want you to cheat, though. And that's the other part of it, the legal aspects. The law
Right.
never keeps up. Plagiarism laws, copyright laws. Apple AI is currently in a class action lawsuit. I'm not officially part of that, but as someone who has stuff on Apple Books, I'm involved to a degree. What are they taking of mine without accreditation or attribution and refurbishing and spewing out, and someone else takes it thinking it's, oh, I'm using AI. I asked it this giving it to me, therefore I own it. No, it was stolen from somebody else. You are still on the hook for plagiarism
Mm-hmm.
if for example, one of my more recent books, a short story, A Lasting Legacy, if it pulls a paragraph out of here and you use it thinking it's new and original and you own it, wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
You're on the hook for the plagiarism and the copyright violation.
Mm-hmm. And so much copyright has gone through nowadays, especially with all the live streaming that I and a few of my friends do, the book writing, the book publishing, and you don't know which is copyrighted and what isn't. So what is I have a project I'm doing right now, Diary of a Mad Snowman. That's like my audio book. And it's detailing something we're going to talk about a little later, surviving cancer and everything after that. How I like I just got started with it. So what would be the first tip? Because I do everything, most everything by voice using my memory. What's the first? Is that the first good way to get started? Because it
Oh,
is your concept.
yeah, a lot of people do that, and I do go into that in how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques using voice to text. But of course, that I like on my smartphone, I try
Right.
to dictate an email, and it mangles names, it mangles sentences. There's no punctuation whatsoever in there, so so yeah, you can use that as a cheat, but at least then it's still your words being translated. Then you need to clean it up. So
Hmm.
that's not bad. And have AI read it back, because that's another thing. Like several of my books are on Amazon Audible, and
Right.
that's AI uh, virtual voice
Hmm.
reading it back to you, right? It's not I didn't hire an actor or actress to read it or myself do it as an audiobook. It's AI reading it back. But yeah, text to speech or speech to text rather is a good cheat, and that's in the book. If
Hmm.
you're out somewhere, if you got an idea, crack open your phone, write yourself an email, dictate yourself an email while it's fresh in your head. Then later you cut and paste it into your book and clean it up. That's a good cheat.
It is. If you know how to if you know how to use it correctly, because that's how I get most of my ideas. I open a recorder on my phone, or I have this microphone in front of me, and I speak it to my computer. How long have you been writing, and how long have you been an internationally published author?
Well, I've been writing my whole life. The name Joseph M. Lenard. It looks French. It's not Lenard. It's Leonard without an O, and the
Mhm.
middle initials in there because there is a Joseph Lenard out of South Carolina who is
Right.
also off. I can't talk. That always happens. Hit record and I can't talk. I did. It happens on my own show all the time too, right? But there is a Joseph Lenard who is also a Christian author out of South Carolina. So I am Joseph M. Lenard. Uh, just no O in there.
Mhm.
And I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, my dad. Ted Leonard Jr. and the Polka Kings. For people east of the Mississippi, may have seen them tour. They had 3 albums. I wrote and recorded music. Unlike Dad, I didn't get a record deal because back then you had to have a record deal. Unlike today, you
Mhm.
just put everything on your computer for 99 cents and anyone can upload it, right?
Right.
Uh,
Right. Right.
so I've been writing and recording music and writing books, short stories, poetry, novels my whole life. But when I got sick in 2001, went on disability officially in 2004, I started taking that more seriously. And in 2022, have published things, but my first internationally published book, Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You, was released internationally.
What gave you the concept of that? Terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. What gave you the concept of that book?
Good question. Glad you asked it. Most of my things, like this book, came to me in a dream. I got up, I wrote a story outline, it turned into this book, right? And this book is what brought us together. There is a baseball subthread in here, right?
Mhm.
Terror Strikes is the primary title. The subtitle is Coming Soon to a City Near You. There's a million books that start off Terror Strikes something or another, right?
Right.
But strikes, as in a terrorism assault, or also balls and strikes.
And
There's a
strikes.
baseball sub thread in here, which is what brought us together.
It
And
is.
yeah, people remember G.W. Bush throwing out the first pitch at that Yankees game to kind of get us a return to somewhat normalcy. And there's that in there as part of the historical part. It's historical fiction, or as I call it, faction, part fact, part fiction, right? And there's other baseball references also in the book. It makes sense when you read it. Terrorism is really kind of the thread that holds a whole lot of sub things together. It's about life and living, not death and destruction.
I love that. That is exactly what brought us together. When you explain the book, and me being the baseball rat that I am, I caught every reference that was there, especially from the excerpts that you sent me. You went on disability 2004, 2001, finally started receiving. What took so long for the disability to happen for you, for the
Yeah,
part of it? What took so long, and why? Let me pose this question also: why does it take so long for it to happen for a man as opposed to a woman? Not taking sides, but just noticing in my own battle, what's going on.
sexism. Yeah, there is a degree of sexism. A female, and in a way, it's part of our Judeo Christian foundations, right? Wanting to be take care of widows and orphans. Females tend to get on assistance easier because it's assumed that there may be kids involved and you want to take care of the mother to help take care of the kids. But
Mhm.
you're right, government bureaucracy and delays, and I had to file a suit, go through a court to get a court order for them to put me on disability, even though I paid into it my whole life, right?
Mhm.
It's not a handout to me. It's something, a benefit I am entitled to because I paid into it. It
Mhm.
is there should something happen, and unfortunately it did. I'd love to still have my six-figure salary,
Right. Right.
IT career, rather than barely keeping the roof over my head. I
Mhm.
like nice things. At one time, I had a Porsche 944. I had a DeLorean, twice actually, two different DeLoreans. Oh, I like nice things.
Yeah.
Can't have them now, though.
No. And it's such a fight and a half. You and I going through the same monster, which is cancer. I had stage 4 pancreatic
Yeah.
cancer. I'm here, and I love being and I love being here, and I love talking about it. And that's one of the threads of my book, Diary of a Mad Snowman, with everything that's going on. Well, that's going on with me. What cancer did you? Whose cancer's ass did you kick to stay here?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
2010, in remission still, leukemia, APL form of leukemia. And yeah, I didn't choose the hairdo. The hairdo chose me. I'm not a 1980s neo-Nazi skinhead. You know, the hair came out during chemo. I decided, hey, glass half full, right?
Right.
Find the silver lining. I'm saving a ton on shampoo and conditioner.
Same here. Same. How was the discovery made that you had leukemia?
Yeah, well, like I said, I was originally sick with a myriad of health issues since 2001.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with 9/11, though some people sometimes try to make that connection because of my book, Terror Strikes Coming Soon to
Mhm.
a City Near You. Just coincidentally around the same time, and then on disability in 2004. And yeah, 2010, the cancer came knocking. I went to the hospital in June of 2010 thinking it was just the fibromyalgia, the CFIDs, the chronic fatigue immune dysfunction syndrome, immune dysfunction, stress, all that
Mhm.
stuff, all
Mhm.
of a sudden showing up at the same time again. So I'm at the hospital again and they run tests and guess what? We want to drill into your backside to get your bone marrow. We think it's cancer. Oh, joy.
Oh joy,
Great. Yeah,
exactly.
sign me up. I've always wanted to have my ass drilled into.
And people laugh at me and the way I tell my cancer
Yeah.
story. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love it.
some people pay good money at the corner dominatrix to have that done, right? Yeah. I got to have insurance cover it. Well, some of it anyway. Heavy
Huge difference,
copays.
folks.
Yeah. Hey, shit is so serious. You gotta keep a sense of humor.
You have to. You have. It's
And
one
then,
thing my wife
yeah,
teaches me every day is to keep my sense of humor because
yep.
it started with blood clots for me in both my lungs in 2021. And then a month after I got that treated, oh, we have to do a biopsy on you. Best 20 minutes sleep I ever had in my life. And they knocked my ass cold. All right. And then I wake up, oh, it's pancreatic cancer. I look at Jody and we're like, what? Fortunately, made some good friends, got some good insurance. We moved from North Carolina back here to Indiana. And I looked at the guy who performed the surgery and I said, are you going to get this thing or not? He looked at me with a smile. He says, we'll get it for you. And here I am still today.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Otherwise, where else would I go for this snow job,
It's
right? And, again, the humor, even in my Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You book, there's a comic relief chapter.
yes.
Makes that point. You've
Mhm.
got to keep your sense of humor, or, right? Cypress
Or we'll
Hill,
all go
insane in
mad.
the membrane.
Insane in the membrane, exactly.
Yeah.
Or we'll all go insane if you don't keep your sense of humor. We'll all go insane in the
Yep.
membrane. One of my
Yep.
favorite comedians is George Carlin.
Oh,
I grew up
loved him.
on
Yep.
I grew up on Eddie
R.I.P.
Murphy, Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, and George Carlin. I discovered George Carlin like late, like in the early '90s, and my favorite line from George Carlin, which is what I teased my parents, God rest both their souls, with whenever they would go on a trip, I'd show them the clip from George talking about flying on an airplane. And one year, my mother, bless her heart, came up to me and says, "You know we're going to Vegas, right?" "Yes." And Dad walks by with this smirk, and I'm like, "Okay, he's gonna make me say it. He's gonna make me say it." And then Mom just pulls me aside and says, let's hear the joke. "That's what they tell you. Get on the plane. Get on the plane. Fuck you. I'm getting in the plane."
Yeah, right.
Both my parents died when they heard that. And it became, for like the last 10 years, they were able to make trips. It became a tradition. I had to do that particular joke for them because that's what connected me to George Carlin to them.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first routine that they heard. And you said it best, and it's something that my loved ones, my family, my children teach me every day. You got to keep your sense of humor,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the 21st century with terror all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
little terrors, big terrors, everything,
Or
with
general crime,
general
right?
crime. Yeah.
It, right? There's a chapter, Naperville, Ohio, or
Mm,
Naperville, Illinois,
Naperville,
in the
Illinois.
Teresa thought she was the mama bear she needed to be for her daughter Cammy. She realized she was more of an ostrich than the mama bear she needed to be, right? It
Hmm.
may not be terrorism, it can be general crime around the corner you
Yeah.
don't see coming. I
No.
don't want anyone paranoid. I'm not
No.
selling fear porn,
Right.
but
Right.
you
Right.
have to be aware shit happens.
Yes.
Bad things happen to good people. I
Yep.
want you to at least have thought about it. At
Yeah.
beforeitsnews.com, I've got an article, Fight, Flight, or Fade, right?
Hmm.
Remember the Ariana Grande thing in New York,
Yes.
Madison
Yes, I
Square
do.
Garden? More people were injured and killed in this stampede that happened because people panicked.
Yeah.
Fight or flight. Well,
Hmm.
if you're not prepared to fight, if you're not trained or don't have the weapon, fight's not your option. Flight can be a bad option too. If you
Hmm.
land in the sheeple, if it is terrorism, the guy with the AK-47, you're a big target as part of that
Yep.
crowd now, and you may trample each other. So the
Hmm.
other option is fade. If the danger's on the other end of the arena, hide behind your
Hide
seat.
behind this. Hmm.
The seat is no protection, but if you disappear from their view,
Then they won't
you're
get you.
right.
Then they won't. Then they won't get
So I
you.
don't want to sell fear and
No,
paranoia,
no, no,
but
no.
think. I want you to resolve you will be a thinker, not a reactor, not one of the sheeple. And you mentioned Vegas. I love Vegas. I haven't been there since 2006, unfortunately. A lot's changed. A lot
Hmm.
changes every 5 years. I need to get back there. I love Vegas. I have a beforeitsnews.com piece on that too. Vegas, more than just gambling. Red
Oh
Rock
yeah.
Canyon, the Hoover
Hmm.
Dam, the Grand Canyon. If you can afford to take a helicopter tour over the strip and learn, that used to be the Dunes. It's now the Bellagio. The
Hmm.
MGM used to be the Mariner. The Bally's used to be the original MGM.
Hmm.
Or a chopper out to the Grand Canyon and land in the floor and have lunch in the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Oh, great sightseeing out there. Great.
We'll leave. We'll leave with this story, but I'd love to have you back for another part to this. I'd love to.
Yeah,
I'd
we
love
didn't
to have
talk
you
any baseball.
back. That'll be the next time. I promise. That'll
Yeah.
be the next time.
Thank God for the pitch count. I got to tell you
Yes.
my joke on that, though, right?
Yeah. Thank God for the pitch.
Baseball is watchable on TV again now, right?
Mhm.
You pitchers that wanted that oppose the pitch count or want to get rid of it again, you should get with ESPN and create the men's professional staring league. If you just want to stare at each other for a half hour between every pitch, the rest of us want to see baseball, not staring contests.
And you know what that
Who
also
will blink
eliminates?
first?
You know what? And you know what else that eliminates? How many times you throw over to first base? Because I got sick and tired of a. I know it's a cat and mouse game. Trust me. Tried to play the sport, tried to play the position, but sometimes you just get tired and you want to get the batter instead of the runner, and you don't care about the runner anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
I got tired of that.
You mentioned the Red Wings. Hockey was my sport. I played growing up. I officiated. I coached. Played all the way through high school. So hockey's more my game. The Red Wings, we've had a drought for. The Iser plan is an Iser fail. He needs to be Iser fired.
Can we get the Red Wings and the Blackhawks like back in the Western Conference final or in the Campbell Conference Finals again? Because the last time the Wings and the Blackhawks played in a playoff series was 2013. It was the last time they would ever face each other in a playoff series to date, because the Wings moved to the Eastern Conference,
which makes sense. It does.
It does. But at the same time, 7 games with 2 big rivals like that, the Red Wings and the Blackhawks, if they could just play like one, if they only play like twice a year now.
Yeah, the I-94 series.
The I-94 series. Once in Detroit, once in Chicago. Oh man, we gotta go. But Joseph Lenard will join us once again. He will join us again very, very soon. Baseball will be mixed into the conversation. More about what he does with his writings. Like I said, we just ran up against time today. But Joseph, my friend, love you very much.
Oh,
thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Reach out to me, josephmleonard.us or terrorstrikes.info. Everybody Wiki. I have a wiki page there. J. Leonard Detroit all over social media.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Take care. God bless.
It's been a presentation of Snowman Multimedia, celebrating 30 years of broadcast excellence.